If you are hearing this message now, it is not a coincidence. I am the one who gave orders to my angels, who aligned the timing, the circumstances, the paths, so that in this precise moment this word would enter deep into your heart. Because I know your life like no one else does. I know your thoughts before you think them, your tears before they fall, your wounds before you can name them. You have felt the weight of loneliness, the weariness that presses down on you, the constant struggle that steals your peace. You have walked with a heavy heart, feeling misunderstood, as if no one truly sees you, as if your pain matters to no one. But listen closely, I have been there the entire time. I saw every moment when you broke in secret. I heard every sigh you let out in the middle of the night. I have counted every tear, even the ones you tried to hide. There is nothing about you that is unknown to me. Even when others walked away, even when you thought no one cared about you, I was there holding you without you noticing, protecting you from unseen dangers, covering you with my grace. And now I speak to you again. This is not the first time I've done so. I have warned you 7 times, 7 opportunities where my voice became present in your story. I spoke through people, through circumstances that shook you, through doors that closed and others I opened without explanation. I spoke in the silences and the storms, in moments of loss and also in comfort. But many times you chose to ignore me. You closed your heart, hardened your spirit, clung to paths that were not mine, sought refuge in what was destroying you, and mistook my patience for permission. Do not confuse my silence with absence any longer, because I have been waiting with mercy, with love, but also with zeal for your soul. I have not come today with gentle words. I come with truth, with a spiritual shaking you cannot ignore. Because if this message has reached you, it's because you are at the edge, because you are at a spiritual boundary where there is no more room to play with what is sacred. I am touching your spirit once more, and this may be the last time you hear my voice in this way, not because I will stop loving you, but because a moment will come when there will be no turning back, a moment when the opportunities will run out, and only what you chose to sow will remain. I am your God. I am the one who created you, who formed you in your mother's womb, the one who has sustained your life even when everything around you was shaking. I have not forgotten you, nor have I cast you aside, but I am calling you with urgency. I am telling you, wake up. Open your spiritual eyes. You can no longer walk as if you do not know the truth. You have tasted my love. You have felt my presence. You know I exist and that I speak. So why do you insist on turning back? Why do you keep running as if you could hide from me? Today is the day I remind you of everything I have done for you. I delivered you from accidents the enemy had planned. I pulled you out of relationships that were destroying you. I closed doors you thought were good, but would have led you to death. Every time you thought it was failure, it was really my hand protecting you. Don't you see? I was always there. But now I speak with a firm voice. Do not ignore this call again. Do not harden your heart. Do not say tomorrow or later, because you do not know if there will be another tomorrow. Today is the day I have chosen for you. Today is the moment I marked in the heavens to speak to you once more. Stay here. Listen until the end. Do not shut off this word. Do not take it lightly, because this may be your last opportunity before certain doors close. This is not a threat, it is a warning born of love. For I, the Lord, do not want you to perish. I want you to live. I want you to be free. But you must choose. Heaven has moved to reach you today. What will you do with this word? How long will you keep walking in your own strength? How long will you keep pretending that you don't need my guidance? I have seen how you try to stay in control, how you cling to what you know even when you know it isn't working. I speak to you with love, but also with truth. I am speaking directly to you, soul that has felt the weight of abandonment, that has lived in fear, that has stumbled time and again without understanding why peace hasn't come into your life. You can no longer ignore what I have been doing. You can no longer justify the silence of your spirit or the dryness of your soul. It is time to acknowledge that you need me more than you are willing to admit. Listen, you did not make it this far by your own strength. I was the one who held you when everything seemed to fall apart. I was the one who kept you safe when others fell. I was the one who stopped what the enemy had planned against you. Don't think your mistakes pushed me away. On the contrary, it was your failures that stirred my compassion, my patience, and my desire to rescue you. I am not like people who grow tired, who walk away, who judge you without mercy. I am your God, and my love has no end. That is why I speak strongly now, because I want you to live, not just survive. Because I want you to rise up, not stay stuck. If you believe in me, I tell you today with certainty, I will turn your mourning into joy, your pain into healing, and your mistakes into wisdom. You are not marked by your failures. You are destined for restoration. I am ready to change the course of your life toward a greater purpose, a path full of meaning and blessing. But you must trust me. You must release fear, let go of pride, and trust the process of restoration I am working in your life. I know it's not an easy process, but it is necessary because you cannot carry the weight of a past I have already decided to forgive. I did not call you to live oppressed by guilt or by the enemy's voice reminding you of your failures. I called you to live in freedom, with purpose, with vision, with hope. Do not let the weight of the past hold you down any longer. I am the God who makes all things new. There is no wound I cannot heal, no ruin I cannot rebuild, no loss I cannot redeem. Even those years you thought were wasted, those moments you felt were lost, those dark seasons where you believed everything was over, let me tell you, none of it was in vain. I, the Lord, can restore what was lost. I can give you more than you ever imagined. Let me restore those years you lost. Allow me to guide you toward a future full of hope, abundance, and fulfillment. You are loved even if you often don't believe it. You are deeply loved. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are to me. You are my creation, my son, my daughter. And your story is not over. It is being written right now, and what's coming cannot be compared to what has passed. New chapters are coming, chapters full of promises, of miracles, of purposes I have prepared just for you. I do not improvise. I do not take back my plans. If I made you a promise, I will fulfill it. But you must turn your heart to me. I don't want just a part of you. Because only when you surrender completely will you be able to see the fullness of what I have for you. Return to me. Return with sincerity, with humility, with spiritual hunger, and you will see how those lost years will be transformed into years of abundance, of grace, of redemption. For I am an expert in turning ashes into beauty, ruins into dwellings of glory, dryness into springs of life. If you only let me in completely, you will see that what's coming is far better than what was left behind. I am calling you, not out of punishment, but out of love, because I have waited for you and I am still here with arms wide open. How much longer will you keep walking in circles, repeating the same mistakes, stumbling over the same stones you should have left behind? I've been waiting for you to lift your eyes not toward temporary answers, not toward false shelters, but toward me. You sought direction from many voices, from human advice, from solutions that promise peace but cannot deliver it. You've trusted in your own judgment, acted on your understanding, and yet something deep within you remains empty, still crying out for something more, something eternal, something true, something that will not fade away. I know that silent cry no one else hears. I know the weariness that can't be seen from the outside, but lives deep within you. I know how many times you've wondered why nothing changes, why you're still in the same place even though you've tried everything, and maybe even thought your life is marked by pain, that perhaps your destiny is just to fail over and over again. But I didn't write your story to end in defeat. What you're living now is not the final chapter. It's just a stage that I can still redirect. Because as long as there is breath in your lungs, there is still purpose, there is still design, there is still promise. You've asked me many times in secret, where are you? Why did you allow this? Have you forgotten me? And now I answer you with love, but also with firmness. I have not forgotten you. I have been working in every detail, even in those you do not yet understand. Some doors I closed were answers to prayers you yourself once lifted up. You just didn't see it that way. The people who left your life, the plans that didn't come to pass, the failures you faced, these were all part of a deeper process. I did not come to give you a surface-level solution. I came to transform your very being from the root, and that requires you to go through the breaking, not as punishment, but as preparation for something greater. I have been cleansing your inner ground, uprooting the lies you believed for years, that you're worthless, that you don't deserve love, that you will always fail, that you're alone in this world. Those words didn't come from me. I never called you by your mistakes. Your failures were the names others put on you. I've been waiting for the exact moment to reveal who you truly are, who you were created to be, not by the world's measure, but according to the design written for you from eternity. I've warned you before. This is not the first call. There have been 7 times I placed signs in your path, and you know it. Don't tell me you didn't see them. I was clear. I stirred your spirit when you were about to choose wrongly. I closed paths that would have led to destruction. I spoke through people who didn't even know what you were going through, yet still said exactly what you needed to hear. You were visited in dreams, stirred in the silence. My spirit knocked on your door more than once, yet you kept believing it was just coincidence. Now is the time to recognize that it was never random. It was me, persistently seeking you. Many lie bound by invisible chains, and you are one of them. You don't say it, you don't show it, but deep inside, you know there are strongholds keeping you from moving forward. It's not only about what you do, but about what you carry. And you cannot carry it any longer. You've reached your limit. And that's why I speak to you once more, because I don't want you to remain trapped in a prison without realizing that freedom is available. I can break those chains. I can destroy what has held you back for so long, but you must allow me. You must open your heart, not halfway, not with reservations, but completely. I am ready to restore your mind, to heal your heart that has been hardened by disappointment, to lift your thoughts above the storm. I am willing to take what the enemy meant for your destruction and turn it into testimony, into glory, into blessing for others. But there are decisions only you can make. No one can choose for you. Restoration doesn't come without surrender. Transformation doesn't happen without obedience. And you've already tried so many times to do things your way. Don't you think it's time to try mine? You are not alone in this battle, even if your eyes don't see it. Heavenly movements are being activated even now as you hear this word. Not because you are perfect, but because there is still purpose over your life. I am raising what has fallen, restoring what was ravaged by storms, and calling again those who walked away out of fear, guilt, or shame. But hear me, there is no shame my grace cannot cover. There is no fear my peace cannot silence. Even your greatest mistakes can be used by me to give you wisdom, build your character, and lead you to a destiny greater than you imagine. This message is not meant to entertain you. It is not just another word among many, it is a divine appointment with the eternal destiny of your soul. And now, in this moment, you must choose. Will you shut your heart once more? Or will you finally surrender to the only one who can save you, restore you, and lead you into the fulfillment of what was written about you before you even saw the light of day? You have felt time moving forward, and yet many areas of your life remain stuck. You've watched others progress, prosper, and reach their dreams while you feel every step you take leaves you more confused. You don't understand why, despite your efforts, things aren't flowing as they should. And in the midst of that inner questioning, a silent, almost imperceptible voice rises, one that makes you doubt your worth, your purpose, and even my presence. But I want you to know this clearly. I never stopped working, even when your eyes couldn't perceive it. Many have mistaken the waiting for abandonment, but it is not so. There are processes that cannot be rushed. There are fruits that only mature at the appointed time. There are promises that require deep preparation. And though it may hurt to admit, you were not ready before. There were things in your character, in your heart, that needed to be refined, broken, and purified. Not because I wanted to see you suffer, but because I didn't want you to receive something you weren't ready to sustain. True blessings are not fleeting or shallow. What I prepare for your life holds eternity, carries a weight of glory, and carries purpose beyond the moment. You look at yourself through the lens of your failures, what you've lost, and the mistakes you can't erase. But I see you through eternity. I see the complete work, not just the chapter you're living now. What causes you pain today will one day be the evidence of my faithfulness during the process. I see beyond your present confusion. And even though you only see ruins, I already see the rebuilt structure. I see a clear design, a divine architecture I am forming step by step, day by day, even in the moments when you thought nothing was happening. You must understand that it's not about feeling, it's about believing. Many become stagnant waiting for a feeling, a visible sign, a tangible confirmation. But faith doesn't move by sight. It moves by what you know I've spoken. Maybe not how you expected, maybe not with thunder or visions, but I have placed my truth before you time and time again through written words, through situations that pulled you out of where you could no longer remain, through the silence that unsettled you, which in truth was a space for your spiritual senses to sharpen. Stop trying to feel worthy through your own efforts. No one can cleanse their soul without my intervention. No one can rewrite their story without my direction. I alone can bring order where there has only been chaos, but you must allow my truth to penetrate the deepest layers of your mind. You have lived too long shaped by past experiences, by careless words, by betrayals that harden your trust. But you can't keep walking in that pattern. The past has no power over a heart I am renewing. I've been working inside you not to change the outside first, but so that when the external does change, your soul will be ready. If I were to open every door today without first addressing your inner foundation, everything I gave you would collapse. That's why the delay is not punishment, it's grace. It's protection. It's a way to preserve you for what truly aligns with my will. What comes from me brings peace, not anxiety. It brings clarity, not confusion. It brings freedom, not a weight that crushes you. Many walk with ears closed to the divine whisper, waiting for me to speak in spectacular ways. Without realizing, I often speak in the simplest detail, in the pause, in the waiting, in the unexpected encounter, in the thought that interrupts the noise of your day. My voice does not compete with chaos. It does not force itself through violence. It dwells in those who make themselves available, in those who seek me sincerely, in those willing to leave behind what is comfortable to embrace what is eternal. Stop chasing after what shines if it doesn't come from me. Not everything that glitters is a blessing. Not everything that impresses the human eye brings life to the soul. I know what you truly need, even when you think you know what you want. And that requires surrender, not temporary, not partial, but constant, because the path I've drawn out for you is not revealed all at once. I show you step by step, not because I enjoy withholding information, but because I am teaching you to depend, to trust, to remain. You are being shaped, not destroyed. You are being stripped of what limits you, not of what defines you. I didn't come to take away what you love, but to replace it with what truly builds you up. What's coming will be different, not because it will be easier, but because now you will be ready to sustain it, to value it, to understand that it's not just about receiving, but about living in communion with the one who gives. What you're going through is not the end. It is not punishment. It is not a sign that I've rejected you. It's part of a work still under construction. And I assure you, when you see the full picture, when you look back and remember every stage, you will understand that you were never alone, that none of it was in vain, and that my faithfulness was with you even when your strength failed. Before you were born, I already knew every detail of your existence. Not a single second of your life had been hidden from me. There is no moment that escaped my hands. In every season, even the ones you wish to erase from memory, I have been present, working, sustaining, waiting, not as a distant spectator, but as the author who still holds the pen. Because your story is still being written. Even when you thought it was over, when you believed there were no pages left to fill, I was preparing a new chapter that you cannot yet imagine. There are many things you've tried to solve in your own strength. You've made decisions you thought were necessary, driven by fear or urgency. You walked paths that seemed logical, yet ended up at dead ends. I do not judge you for that. But I want you to understand I never designed you to depend solely on your understanding. The wisdom from above is not found in the world's noise, nor in human reasoning, but in intimacy with me. And I have been waiting for you there, in the secret place where truth is not disguised, where masks fall off, where the soul surrenders and acknowledges it needs something greater than itself. You were made for more than mere survival. You were created to flourish, to bear fruit that lasts, to walk with direction, with purpose, with vision. But as long as your gaze is limited by what you see around you, you won't be able to perceive what I am doing in the unseen. What is built in the eternal is not always visible at once. I don't build sandcastles that crumble with the wind. I establish deep, solid, unshakable foundations. That's why I've allowed certain old structures in your life to fall, not to leave you with nothing, but so that upon those ruins I can raise something new that no storm will ever move. You have lived too long on the defensive, expecting the next blow, the next failure, the next disappointment. You got used to surviving, but that's not what I have for you. I came to give you life, and life in abundance. But the abundance I offer doesn't begin on the outside, it begins deep within. It's a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. It's a fullness that isn't based on achievements, but on identity. When you walk with me, you no longer need to prove anything to anyone, because you know who you are in my presence, and that is enough. Many have tried to define you by your past, by your mistakes, by what you didn't accomplish, but none of those voices carry the authority that I do. Don't let what others have said about you carry more weight than what I have declared over your life. My words are never empty. What I speak comes to pass. And if I said there is purpose, then there is purpose. If I said there will be restoration, then it will be restored. No matter how broken the vessel may seem, I can make it new again. No matter how dark the road has been, I am light in the midst of the blackest night. Stop carrying guilt I've already cleansed. Stop living as if you're condemned to repeat the same patterns forever. The cycle can end today, not by your effort, but by my intervention. I am bringing breakthrough. I am tearing down walls that have surrounded you for years. I am removing veils that have kept you from seeing clearly. But you must be willing to release what you've used as defense. What protected you in the past won't serve you in the new season I'm bringing. You need to be stripped of excuses, free from resistance, open to real transformation. Many look for signs but fail to recognize the movement that has already begun. You are in the midst of something far greater than you imagine. I do not work on the surface. My work is deemed detailed and perfect. And though right now you may not understand the reason behind certain losses, delays, or silences, the time will come when everything will make sense. There will be no tear without purpose, no waiting that was in vain. All of it hath been part of a greater transformation and internal formation that was preparing the soil for what is coming. Don't keep clinging to what has kept you limited. Fear can no longer be your counselor. Guilt can no longer dictate your direction. The pain of the past can no longer fuel your decisions. I am extending my hand to pull you out of that place of mental, emotional, and spiritual stagnation. But you must take the step not out of impulse, but out of conviction, because you know the time has come. Because deep within, you feel this word igniting something you thought was extinguished. There's a reason I didn't let you stay in certain places. They weren't meant for you. Some settings looked promising on the surface, but behind them were chains, distractions, and detours disguised as opportunities. That's why I closed doors. That's why I exposed truths. That's why I allowed what was hidden to come to light. Because your destiny cannot be built on false foundations. What I build is firm, eternal, pure. There is no mixture in what I design. If something was removed from your life, it wasn't because I took away something good, it's because I am preparing something that cannot be tainted, that cannot break, that won't fade with time. What I have spoken, I will fulfill. What I have started, I will sustain. Your story is still being written, and I am still the author.